Hello guys, welcome back to FACEIT TV for the last best of 3 here tonight. Of course, we will be broadcasting tomorrow and the day after to find out who will qualify, what 2 teams it will be. And joining me, of course, is Vendetta. Hello.
Hi.
You're like kind of replacing Threat. How does it feel?
Yeah, big shoes to fill.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He's going to Japan?
Good, though. Yeah, he's going to Japan for, what, half a year?
Yeah, I think he's back on like January, March, something like that. So he's not gone too long. Yeah. But yeah. So our first match is going to be E-Frag and PITER, and I personally don't really have much in the way of expectation for PITER. E-Frag, I was a big fan of E-Frag. I think we were both present at the start series. We were like, with Threat on the honest, just like going crazy about E-Frag. But they since, again, you were with me at APM, and I think that's when they're forced by, like, their too many forced by situation happened. It never seemed to go away. They're still doing it all the time, and it's ruining them.
Well, they kind of did it at spyleadeR as well, but it was working.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair to them, it's not like they've been playing poorly in that sense. It's just that they've lost more than they should have because of the actual force buys. So, you know, that's something that they have to learn. We've seen Envy never really kind of learning that, but they still managed to do well. So maybe that's kind of the mindset that Gplay has going forward.
Wow. And we have a pretty significant odds here in favor of E-Play.
Yeah.
I just did it as well now. It's so annoying.
I corrupted you.
Annoying. And I'm actually taller than you right now because you're sat in James chair, so I'm going to go down a little bit. There you go. Because he's actually taller than me. How tall are you? Like 6 something? Okay, 180.
You're actually going for the American scale.
185 centimeters? 186?
186.
186, yeah.
187 on a good day.
On a good day. Yeah. All right, we saw that the winner could be up against maybe probably Kingwin. Got Kingwin against Vega, so it's I think very likely that Kingwin should win. Again, Kingwin, another team that are hard to predict, but you would imagine in the best 3 they should take them down. So, well, I think E-Frag, I feel like they should actually, that's really hard to call as well.
Yeah, well,
I suck. I can't call anything.
Well, I think for this game in particular, this should be a 2-0 for E-Frag.
Yeah.
E-Frag versus Kingwin, that's a completely different ball game.
I mean, when it's like Virtus.pro, they're playing TSM or something, or Fnatic are playing an IP, or, you know, these teams, I can make elaborate predictions. I can tell you probably all the maps that they'll play and they'll veto. Like, it's
a bit more of a coin toss when you have these kind of guys going up against each other.
Yeah.
And it's also the factor that, you know, you've seen, I think the likelihood you know what more to expect from players in the very top team, you know, in the tier 1s team, you can reliably think that olofmeister is going to be, you know, big in this situation, especially on this map and this map. For a team like E-Frag, it's like, well, you know that Dreamer and Viktor can come up big in certain situations, but, you know, they can also falter, so I guess that's kind of the excitement.
Yeah, and here we go, PITER going for their pistol round. They're opening up with a nice push into connector. It's actually paid off. They've managed to take down 2 players. However, they are suffering some losses themselves, and there are the trades. NKL, really nice headshot there. Wouldn't have gotten a second opportunity. That was an important shot, tying things up 2 versus 2. And wow, they're actually going to have a lot of trouble taking you down there. And in comes Dreamer from the back, and this should be easy, but he's only going to get a whiff of damage onto Spiker. So this is a little bit weird because he doesn't know if PITER's Spiker is just going to go for it, but he does. And here we have Dreamer now trying to make things happen. He does pick up the kit, and Spiker's just going to chill by the bank area.
Yeah, and I don't think it's reasonable for Spiker to actually expect Dreamer to have a kit at this point. So, but he does have a pretty open plan.
Oh, this is rough here for Dreamer. Is he just going to go for it? Oh, that was pretty nice. I think there's 2 seconds left on the defuse there as well. So that was pretty beautiful. So PITER started off with a nice economy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it seemed like in that situation, Dreamer actually was thinking the same thing. Like he probably doesn't know that I have a kit. And they just went for it. But no, yeah, PITER getting off to a great start, and I think they need to. I guess the theme for E-Frag in previous tournaments has been that their CT sides have been somewhat weak, so if you can punish them early on and maybe get them to tilt a tiny bit, you can pick up a lot of T-side rounds on pretty much all the maps that E-Frag play.
And it's the first force fight we're going to see from E-Frag as well on CT side.
Definitely not going to be the last.
Oh yeah. To be fair, it does work a lot better on this map than some others. It's easier to deal with rotations. There's lots of sneaky close range angles you can find on both ends of the map. So I think there's a good argument for it on this map. However, we are going to see a bit of engagement here. Oh, that little spray down from the CZ is going to provide a nice result. And spaze is going to go down, the new addition here. And that's more damage. My goodness, Viktor. And you know what? E-Frag, they used to have a crazy, crazy reputation for their ability to pull out ridiculousness online in online matches. And LAN was where they had to prove themselves. We're starting to see where they're harkening back to that a little bit, it would seem, with those kills from Viktor. He's got an AK now as well.
Timely place to pick it up as well. Like the fact that there's no more players for PITER around because he doesn't have that many bullets left in his ZZ.
And that off angle, that is brutal. And he will go down, but he'll get the spot and he'll get the frag as well. So actually now E-Frag are moving into an advantage because PITER have to move into a pretty horrible position to get the bomb down. The time is against them. And E-Frag have a player to the advantage, and Viktor's now coming in from the back. What the hell is facecrack going to do? He'll turn around and take down Viktor quite quickly, but can it be quick enough? The time is of the essence. He goes for the plant. He tries to fake it, but E-Frag picked the round up and a couple rifles as well.
Yeah. PITER just got pinned into a corner there, largely because of Viktor's 2 frags. Kind of tore the team into 2.
He's pretty godlike sometimes, especially. I mean, I think that was the reputation they had, right? It was about Viktor doing crazy stuff online. It wasn't so much Dreamer. Dreamer really came alive at Star Series,
events, yeah.
And everyone's like, "Whoa, this guy is amazing."
But yeah, that's that solid start we were looking for PITER, and the potential to get a lot of quick T rounds on Overpass. That dream has kind of died already. They are going to go for the force buy, and I like this. The fact that they're trying to just do some cheeky things. Got the nice boost going on there, seeing if they can find anyone, but so passive positioning from E-Frag because they know they have the better weaponry. So there's no reason for them to actually take unnecessary risks. And they've actually, it looks like they have a bit of a 3-man stack towards A, unless that's one guy and higher.
Yeah, this looks like it should be quite strong, this hold from E-Frag, but you never know with the Tech-9s in play, and here they go, looking for the entries. And we've got a great position by the water from NKL. He's going to be spraying down one. He's got support from spyleadeR up top. So despite the bomb going down, which is job done, they would really like to get some bonus damage here, but not looking so hot on that front. And waterfaLLZ is going to back away. Still looking for that frag, and it will not happen. Dreamer on 1 HP. That was a very, very small margin away from having to rebuy, and so well done there by E-Frag on the hold. I think they're fine with letting the bomb go down. It seemed like that was by design.
Yeah, I think that was pretty much by design with the way they set up. They'd rather stick with their weapons, knowing that PITER, you know, being on the T side, they're going to have the opportunity to do earlier buys. I mean, this is not going to affect PITER in too big a way. They would have been able to buy in the upcoming round after this anyway. They're just going to have a bit of a stronger buy, and I think E-Frag are okay with that as long as they've bolstered their own economy.
I really like it when teams as well identify that, hey, it's okay to let the bomb go down. We care more about our own economy than we care about their economy. There's not many teams that actually make this distinction, but it's a really important one.
And it's kind of funny that E-Frag are one of the teams that are actually doing this right now, because it seems like they're recognizing the fact that, well, we don't want to end up in a situation where we have to buy up with pistols all the time. So if we just, you know, let them have more money, we're confident enough that we can do well if we just have weapons ourselves.
So it looks like we'd have PITER setting up for an A push, SA P250 eco, so the expectation is set very low for them. Now, if they can get a couple frags, they'll be very, very happy. If they can get a bomb down, they'll be happier still. But it is a buy in the next round no matter what. And here it is, we get the full cleanup, just 1 player lost, but 1 in 2 rounds is certainly a very happy E-Frag lineup. So we will get the buy from PITER, and let's have a look and see what they are opting to buy. So just a lot of grenades, a couple Molotovs, I guess, are the most notable things there.
Yeah, nothing really jumps off off the page right now. So it wouldn't be too surprised if they decide to set up in a bit of a default setup, see if they can get some pick towards A, and then decide whether or not they want to execute towards A or just move back towards B. And yeah, you can tell it's pretty cookie cutter setup from PITER so far.
Yeah, it's getting default in.
I guess the most surprising thing so far in this round is the fact that E-Frag are deciding to play fairly passively on that A-bomb site.
Yeah, it's looking like E-Frag are trying to get the feelers out there as well to an extent, see how aggressively PITER are going to play early into the round, and see if they can win this round cleanly as well. That really has a huge impact on the economy, forcing out another eco and so on, giving them even more chance to build bank. And so PITER must do damage in this round. At the very least, they've got to get a few kills together. And look how slow this is going. We have 50 seconds left now, and there's not been a single bullet exchange. Everybody's on full HP.
I think this is kind of going against the plan that PITER had. They were probably expecting E-Frag to play somewhat aggressively so they can potentially find that early pick. But now they're just kind of left scrambling. There's a quick trade, and actually jmqa is going to pick up Dreamer as well, so we're into a 3v3 situation here. But the bomb is all over on the other side, even though the B bomb side is controlled for PITER. They still have to make quite a bit of a rotation.
Something I saw Nico do really well at, and Olofmeister as well, those kinds of players just running into the site alone, seeing what they can get done in spots like this. But the trades are going backwards and forwards here. We've got 10 seconds to plant the bomb. Bubble, if he can just survive for long enough and keep the pressure up, he can maybe stop this bomb from going down. If he can do that, that'd be absolutely massive, but he can't find the shot in time. And he's very lucky that with the silenced M4 that he has, there's no tracer through the smoke, otherwise he would be very dead. So now Bubble is making his way towards barrels to see if he can find these two players. But really, PITER, all they have to do is just hide together, and there should be more or less nothing that is doable here. And in fact, they even have a grenade, so there it is. It's going to finish him off.
I was starting to worry because in a situation like that, you can actually sacrifice one of your players just to get the information whether or not he's holding the defuse or not. So I was starting to get worried, and luckily that nade was actually on point.
They
so PITER
did lose
back.
3 at least. That's the only bright side, I guess, for E-Frag.
And the fact that they did build up a good enough economy to the point where they can get a full buy here.
Looking for that reset. They're going for some aggression on long here. That could pay off. Let's have a look and see if they are able to get some quick kills here. There's 3 versus 2 in this situation. spyleadeR gets 2. That's very, very important. But he needs to get out of this position. He's getting tagged down. Oh, but he'll manage to peek out, pick up the kill onto waterfalls, and that's a 4 versus 2.
Oh, that must be so frustrating. I think that was 2 headshots through that wooden pole, and it did a total of 10 damage to him.
That's crazy.
That's... I mean, you should be rewarded more for that if you're PITER. But I guess that's just kind of how the game plays out.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting as well. Would you say, how do you say things really shape up when it comes to individual skill versus individual skill with the 2 lineups? Because I mean, everyone's assumption would be, well, they've got Viktor, they've got Dreamer, Bubbles can be pretty badass as well when he's got an AWP in his hands. There's a lot of individual skill on E-Frag, but what do we really know about PITER's individual skill?
You know, it's okay. I mean, we did see them at the not with the exact same lineup at the Katowice Qualifiers, you know, half a year ago. So we definitely know that they can play individually, but I think they don't really quite match up to the skill level of E-Frag.
It's quite an interesting consideration because when you look at the situation where this round was really won at A-Long, that's really one of those spots where the individual skill you're kind of, E-Frag is saying, we want to challenge you because we feel like we're going to get an edge with our individual skill here. That's one of the things that's kind of going on there, whereas if they're holding back a lot, they're a little bit more afraid that their odds are not as good on the one-on-ones potentially.
And I mean, E-Frag come out of that situation winning a 2v3 battle, pretty much.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive when you can do that.
Yeah, but again, you know, if that wooden pole isn't, or if that tree isn't as thick as it is, then spyleadeR dies a lot sooner, and that can give PITER a lot of momentum to work with, and actually push to get to game map control.
And we are going to get PITER with a full eco more or less, just a couple PT50s, and that's more or less it from PITER. So again, expectations set very low for this round, and E-Frag with pretty much exactly the same setup as we saw previously when they were in the same situation. So should be done and dusted very soon as the players come in, and we have a very nice angle here of the destruction, the carnage, the slaughter. That is E-Frag wreaking havoc all over PITER. So very nicely done, 5-2, and E-Frag are off to a good start.
Yeah, so far so good, and I'm curious to see whether or not they're going to try for more aggression and this stuff coming by around. PITER, obviously, whenever the one round where E-Frag played passively on the buy round, it seemed like PITER was kind of lost until they started finding frags and were able to trade evenly. And I'm not really sure what kind of executes they have planned for either of the bomb sides because they looked fairly lost.
Absolutely, and we will see E-Frag deciding to take a little bit more initiative into the map this time, not playing so defensively, but actually going for some challenges. Oh, they're going to get caught out, these PITER players, 3 at once from all different sides and angles, and now it's going to be just spaze and jmqa who are remaining. So this is a rather tall order, especially when they're triple facing like that. That's pretty incredible that E-Frag can go so aggressive but only lose a single man. That's ridiculous. That should not happen.
No, it definitely shouldn't happen. And I think Spiker actually messed up a bit there. He did some decent damage onto Viktor there, and he wanted to escape up towards the ladder, and then he kind of botched. And it looked like he jumped actually off the ladder again, and then he got caught out by NKL. So that should never happen, but you know, it kind of turns the favor against PITER in that round. And it allows for the rest of the E-Frag members to push more aggressively as well, because obviously that's going to take attention away from whatever you're doing elsewhere on the map. And right now, it seems like E-Frag are content with pushing aggressively, and I think that's going to be kind of the trend going forward for the rest of the game, because they see that they're winning the duels, even if it's 1v1, if it's 2v3 or what have you. They seem to come out ahead each and every time.
The cool thing about this round as well for me is, well, one of the cool things is that E-Frag has saved so many grenades. If we actually look at all the grenades they've saved, there is an incendiary on Bubble, a flash, and a couple nades on NKL. Dreamer's got an HE remaining, and spyleadeR with a flash as well. Like, usually one of the hidden costs, or the biggest hidden cost, is actually grenades. That it's like, oh, you know, it's a clean round, but actually maybe they spent, you know, 1,000 each in grenades in that round. So it actually does add up quite a lot, and we're starting to see that reflected in the bank that they're building. And now PITER being down 4 rounds, it's certainly a little bit intimidating, especially considering this is E-Frag's pick, that PITER might not even be able to really play the CT side unless they pick up some more rounds.
Oh yeah, you kind of want to get into the game before you go on to map 2. It's definitely not a good feeling to sit there, just feel like you've joined the server to get pummeled for about 30 minutes and then move on to map 2. So a bit of a different approach here now. Obviously, jmqa saved AK. Everyone else is pretty much on eco. A couple of pistols and a flash on Spiker, but they're going to try to do a sudden push into B.
Here we go. We're actually starting to see some of this style come in from E-Frag as well. Look at the beautiful team play, creating a spot where Duma can actually survive that horrible situation. And this is one of the things with E-Frag. Actually, it was myself and you. We were outside of the in Krefeld, outside the Take studio for APM. We were talking to NKL about the force fires and stuff, and like saying, "Why are you doing this?" And I remember one of the things he said about his team is that he feels like one of the coolest things about his team is how they care more than anything about team play. That's their big focus, and you can really see that. That's why we've seen so many rifle setups. These guys trade so well usually.
Oh yeah. I think that's one of the things we noticed during StarLadder as well with Threat, the fact that we really enjoyed watching them play because they play as a proper team. That's really fun to see how they work as a unit and how they move in conjunction with each other.
That is really beautiful, indeed.
3 Molotovs picked up on PITER right now, so I wouldn't be too surprised if if we're finally going to see an execute here, and it seems like E-Frag are content with allowing that to happen, because you can see they're playing pretty passively. They have 3 people towards that A bomb site right now, but they seem pretty content to allow PITER to get quite forward towards A. And I'm expecting this is going to be, you know, your standard smokes and then mollies to cover off whatever your smokes can.
And carnage is about to ensue as Viktor is going to see the challenge coming. The shadow is really, really effective in that position, but the second peek is not going to be good. Waterfalls will take him down, but Bubble's still in position with his rifle, and he's got grenade support from a teammate as well, and he's going to take down Waterfalls. This is looking fantastic here. Dream is holding Monster. He himself has become a monster at holding that tunnel, and it's going to be 8-2. And one little comment is from me is ever since I've been casting PITER games, I think I've maybe casted them like a year ago as well. I think facecrack has had the heart tattoo after his name, so I guess he's been with her for a long time. It's good to see.
It's kind of like Tabson and Lily, right?
Yeah. Just creating stable relationships in Counter-Strike. I like it.
If only lineups could be that stable.
Exactly, yeah. Alright, so Eco, we've seen this before, more or less. Well, not Eco, but yeah, Force Spy, seen this before.
They're just going to hope to, you know, take E-Frag by surprise. But they're, again, E-Frag are playing so passive because they know they're going up against a very low economy PITER. It's
kind of cool, like the hail, the cloud of bullets from multiple players that goes into them as they go for the push, because they're setting it up in that way. Just as you said, like watching them work as a unit, and the fact that they expected this kind of round is another situation where like, okay, we're totally fine with you getting the plant, because we have shown that every single time, as long as we keep our economy in check, we have an advantage in the buy rounds. So we just need to be able to buy all the time, and we'll always have the advantage. So I love this mentality from E-Frag, and it seems so much better now I mean, okay, we haven't seen them get strained and stressed and then put into the situation where they go make that horrible call to force, but we haven't seen that side of them just yet, so that's good, I guess. Don't want to build them up too much.
But you don't want to see them in that situation ever where they have to make that choice, right? No, they're not worried about giving up a plan, especially with the round loss bonus that PITER has going on right now. They would have been able to afford an op anyway, so you're not really giving PITER all that much by letting them plan either. But the op, it's going to be the first time we see the op coming out on PITER, so maybe they're going to be able to find some openings, but you definitely need to hit shots like that if you're going to have any use of it.
There we go, and we're getting them, the E-Frag players falling like dominoes at this point. However, we'll have to see if Dreamer can come out with a good individual play. If NKL can get a kill or hold them on, or even just hold this position for long enough, he can put pressure on them as they try to go for the bomb plan, as they will try to go for the bomb plan. He gets behind them and they won't see him, and he takes both players down now. It's a 2-on-2. NKL's gone absolutely massive in this round, and Dreamer is about to reinforce him from the toilets area. He's actually going to wrap around towards long here, so NKL just has to survive in this position, keep them distracted, and there it is. That's exactly what happens. Dreamer takes the frag, almost gets the second one with the USP, and that gives NKL the time to go around, and he's going to get the kill. That was so beautifully orchestrated and such individual prowess from NKL. Not the guy you normally expect it from, but that was amazing.
Yeah, it's you know, it's kind of. It's like you said, you don't expect it from NKL because he's the kind of guy who does just the safe stuff all the time. Yeah. Because when you talk about profiles on that team, it's Dreamer, it's Viktor, and at times it's Bubble when he gets going with that op. So now NKL just showing really, you know, level-headedness in that situation, because you could definitely hear them running early on, and instead of just turning back and just taking them face first at the first possible moment, buys time. It also allows for his teammates to actually rotate around and help out.
It's kind of that situation as well. How do I win this round? Because I know I'm against multiple players here. Getting behind them is usually the best possible way. So he's thinking probably, what's the best way I can get behind them, or how can I gamble into that situation? Because as you say, like otherwise, at best you're getting a 1 versus 2 where you're getting at best 1 frag.
Yeah.
Versus killing everybody and being able to win the round. So that's another critical thing from a decision-making standpoint, which is really cool to see. I don't know how far in the process he actually was in. He's just probably playing on intuition, but I guess when you play Counter-Strike long enough, you kind of get these concepts.
Oh, absolutely. And he's definitely creating a better situation for himself. It's like you said, but spyleadeR going a bit aggressive. I think that's kind of daring from him, definitely because he knew that one of the guys were already on top of the bank shooting after him from long.
Oh, this is rather devastating. A quick push in from PITER with the opener onto spyleadeR. It is a very, very softened up defense. NKL is coming in, but his positioning this time is not nearly as good as it was previously. He will pick up the kill onto Spiker though, and that's going to allow them to get in there. And NKL gets a second one. What is this? Dreamer comes in now, left with a 1-on-1 against jmqa. He's going for the peek. He knows where he is, finds their head, and he gets the spray. It's as if E-Frag can do no wrong here. They're always picking up the clutches. This must be so incredibly frustrating for PITER.
And I think this is the first round PITER have been able to execute properly towards that bomb site as well. And you can see that they definitely have a plan with their Molotovs and their smokes. They had a very good idea of what I think it was Bubble who was playing that corner. Yeah, it must have been Bubble who was playing that corner by Optimus Prime. And they had, fully aware of what was going on. They got the A-bomb site fairly easy, but NKL getting those 2 frags.
It is pretty crazy when stuff like that happens. It's so frustrating. And PITER needs to stay focused here. They can still pull together some rounds to make this hard for E-Frag. They don't want E-Frag to go into the second map if they're going to so clearly win the first one, feeling confident. See if they can take something away from them. And it's going to be jmqa is able to just nullify NKL in this round, but there was the 1-on-1, or rather 1-4-1, as facecrack is also down.
Oh, Dreamer should have had that frag.
One of the cool things about E-Frag I've noticed, especially when they play Overpass, they do like to pick it, is that they do give so much responsibility to Dreamer towards B. And it almost reminded me of when Happy in 2014 was it 2014? Was like in his heyday, able to just lock down B by himself with the AWP. And Dreamer's showing a great flexibility there. You get the execution into the bomb site, or they're trying to at the very least, but once again Dreamer's picking up the frags and they just can't bully their way in.
Yeah, and they got thrown for a bit of a loop there because that was the first round. Bubble picks up the op, and he gets that early frag onto long. And there hasn't been that much presence from E-Frag on long, barring that one round where they went aggressive with 2 people.
And that was like, what, round 6 or 5 or something? Really early
on. I think it was the first buy round
yeah.
or something from PITER. So obviously, PITER not expecting that, lose one guy right off the bat. And the thing is, Bubble doesn't stop pushing after that. So you get so much information. The rotation times are so much quicker for E-Frag, and they just kind of box PITER in that situation, so they're not allowed to execute at all. So yeah, they're more or less suffocating PITER here.
They are getting squeezed, and here comes the quick push hit from PITER. They're not messing around. A big pace coming into this round. And spyleadeR's already going to spot this, picks up the first kill. Reinforcements is there. 4 players on the site now for E-Frag. There really is no way in. spyleadeR wins the Pixel duel against jmqa, and that's going to put things in a very sore light for PITER. They've got 3 players against the 5 of E-Frag, which means that they really need to consider their options at this point. All the attention, all the alarm bells are ringing on E-Frag on their A-bomb site, and they've only got Dreamer who's on B. So this is getting worse and worse here. We get the repeat from Spike. It looks like they wanted to go back, maybe to catch the mid-rotation, but E-Frag are just all over this. There's not really a way to fault them here.
That was just pretty rough T-side for PITER. And, well, for the most part, they looked kind of lost. There's no real good way you can actually explain it better. I mean, they looked lost for the most part, but I think that's partly due to E-Frag playing a very varied style for the most part, and just playing as a team. It's really hard to get openings that are actually going to allow you to enter a bomb site when you play versus a team like that who constantly have a backup for the backup guy, you know. It's
funny that spyleadeR actually had the most frags because, as we can see here, everyone did their job really well, and I think it's reflected in the scoreboard very well here as well, because Dreamer, he locked down B. I mean, you can see that he only died 5 times, so that's very cool for a B defender. And spyleadeR, just as you said, he was always that kind of backup guy towards A, that was always there to just be able to provide support when they were able to push in, and his teammates weren't so successful in the aggression. So that's everybody doing their job here. I mean, we saw some big performances as well from Viktor. I think he almost clutched some. What did he do? That was
the first
it's the force. Yeah, the force buy that they did to have such an incredible score was all kicked off by Viktor's crazy CZ play. So it's a bad look for PITER in this series, and it is, in their defense, I suppose, the pick of E-Frag. So, although, however, PITER did pick up Mirage into E-Frag as well.
Yeah,
so
that's what worries me. That's really what worries me. Hopefully PITER has a really strong Mirage, but we know that E-Frag has as well. I mean, they have some of the coolest T-strats that I think, well, any team kind of pulls out on that map. Look here.
Okay, so this is tense. PITER really need this one, and they do have a player pushing all the way around the back, so they have all the information about what's going on. They know what's coming, and they have a player to get the flank. But E-Frag, can they get these kills quick and easy? There are the first 2 from Viktor. He's definitely putting things in the place for his team. In comes waterfaLLZ, the flanking player, the lurker, if you will, coming in, able to provide some presence on the backstab. Bubble is going at it by the barrels. He's going to go down though. But that says spyleadeR now himself is becoming the lurker. He's finding his way all the way around the back. They've got to go for the defuse, and he won't be able to get the right angle, and they have plenty of time with that kit. So we do have the round 1 by PITER. So they'll hang on by their fingernails, but how long can they keep themselves in this?
And now they have to withstand the force buy, because it's definitely going to be force buy. I'm going to be so surprised if they don't decide to buy up here. Yeah, and there we go. Because normally when a T-side team gets a bomb plant like that, they, oftentimes decide to do clean eco so they can get a proper buy round with AKs and nades in that 3rd round. E-Frag, not your typical team in that sense, so they're going to buy up, and they can do a lot of damage with this.
It makes a lot of sense as well from the perspective. Usually you don't want to get as many buy rounds as you can, but in this spot, they know if they win this round, they win the game, basically. Yeah. So because of the economic impact that it has on PITER, it's so severe.
Yeah, and you can tell that PITER are very aware of that fact as well, because they've bought up with Colts and FAMASas for the most part. They're not looking really to bolster their economy, they just want to win rounds.
Oh, here we go. We get the entries coming in. And that's 1 player down. That's the bomb planted, the pressure put on. to the CT side, PITER, who need all those rounds. And look at Dreamer just holding off 3 players with the CZ. He's getting lower and lower. His teammates are falling by his side as he eventually will go down to the MP7 of facecrack. And again, it's on spyleadeR. He's the only guy who's healthy. Does come in with a quick frag, and he's going to get taken down by a multitude of players rather, from PITER. So NKL, he's in the smoke with 1 HP. Surely not. Surely not. He's just going to... There we go. The traces. That would have been fantastic. I have to say, there's a lot of...
Where's the Silence Tech 9?
The Silence Tech 9, oh my god.
Oh, the level of brokenness.
Oh my god. That, look, what is going on with jmqa's name here? If it wasn't as bad enough that it's... I'm presuming it's jmqa. If that wasn't bad enough, he's got jmqa 6479 hash YWAF.
Yeah. Because why not? And, well, E-Frag, you know, well... I think it's not really a point of worry at this point, but E-Frag are force buying again. And that's because they got another bomb plant, so they should be able to get a fairly okay AK buy in the next round, even if they lose. But, you know, it could be a worrying trend, and they're just going to get mowed down right from the get-go by spaze.
This is looking quite nice, but they will get the bomb plant out of it, which does allow them to continue pressure, and they can pick up some extra kills. That would be a very nice bonus. There's one. That's all they will amount to. So, well, we'll see another buy, I would imagine, in the following round.
Yeah. Most likely AKs, or it's going to be AKs this time around.
Because how many rounds have they lost in a row? So, PITER have 5, so that's 2, so... It's 2 that they've won in a row, so, right?
3,
lost
in
a
pistol.
3 in a pistol. So, they've lost 1-3 in a row. They lost 3 in a row. So, that is going to be 2400, and then you have the 800, so 3200 with what they got.
With the bomb plant every round. And they didn't use all of it. Like, for their first force buy, they didn't buy up nades fully. Which is why they could force buy for the second one. And they did the same thing in the second force buy as well. So, well, E-Frag does seem to have a good grasp of how their economy works. So, that's good. They're not just completely widely buying around, but...
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense what they're doing.
Yeah.
This is the time. This is maybe one of the only times where you'll see us forgiving them force buying, because it does make a lot of sense in this spot. But there is always arguments either way as well, that you can ignore the opponent's economy to say, hey, well, we only have to win 3 rounds, so we'll just get as many buy rounds as we can. That also is completely fine. Well, PITER, they're starting to get some momentum now. We've got waterfaLLZ picking up a nice opening for his team, and considering that E-Frag have AKs this time around, it's definitely very nice. And E-Frag, they don't seem to have an opportunity here to pick up a kill.
They don't, but they might just be happy enough to set up for an execute here, because PITER are playing very defensively. That said, they do have 3 people on this bomb site, but this is kind of what E-Frag ran as well on their CT side, so they might know what to do against it.
Here we go, we get the entries coming in. NKL, he's been doing really well, but Spiker himself is there by Optimus, looking for the damage. He's going to pick up 3 kills in a row. And spyleadeR, he's alone. He is alone in this one. He's not really got much time to work with. 13 seconds, 10 seconds. There's the first player. But he surely can't get to the bomb in time, and PITER are more than aware of this. There's the peek. Had he picked that kill up quickly, he would have been able to grab the bomb and go for the plant, but yeah, very hard spot, and PITER hold.
Yeah, weirdly enough, the reason why PITER got caught off is because NKL went in before the actual execution from E-Frag came out. So he managed to pick up 2 kills, and after that point, E-Frag should be able to deal with Spiker pretty easily, but he was doing a good job behind Optimus Prime, and it's kind of hard to get around to that angle because he can kind of hide himself pretty well behind that truck. So he did a really good job of just playing the angles and buying enough time for his teammates to get in. But look at this, just the walk-in and towards B-bomb side, and well, with PITER playing 3 people on that A-bomb side, that spells trouble.
Yeah, that's a plant in the first 25 seconds, so pretty well done by E-Frag. I mean, it is hard to hold on to the bomb site, but if you get the 2 quick kills out of it, then it's hard to just trade as a CTs and abuse that fact. So waterfaLLZ is going to try to bust his way into Suez, but there's 2 players who are ready to defend this position, and with nasty angles as well. Look at that, spyleadeR picks up the kill, so there's no way in from short. They're going to try to go for the smoke defuse, but Bubble's position is pretty scary. He's going for the hold, and there it is. Bubble will take him down. That was a close call, but it will be the round 1 by E-Frag with a fast B push, and now PITER are left reeling in disgust as they have so much to do and so little to do with.
Not a lot to not a lot to work with here. They're gonna get quite a few nades, so that's good. Some of them skimping on head armor, which makes sense because they're growing up against mainly AKs. But yeah, I'm curious to know whether or not E-Frag went for that, you know, sudden B or B on contact move because they noticed that PITER were holding with 3 people on A. This time around, PITER not changing their setup that much really. Tiny bit more aggressive stance towards the A bomb site, but other than that, it's pretty similar to what they've been doing so far.
Yeah, it's going to be down to E-Frag just taking the fight to them, and that is what PITER are essentially saying. We believe on our defense. But I'm not so confident in facecrack. He's only got a FAMAS by that barrel. His teammate who's by the water, well, he's dead. Spaze is down. He was really required to help facecrack actually put a defense up there. And, well, that's going to be a really fast round. And we can see PITER, they're just like backing away here. Like, okay, save time for us. Yeah,
that was super efficient by E-Frag as well. And they do the same thing again. They didn't have that many nades to work with. So the very few smokes they have, they use them, utilize them perfectly. And they're so quick to actually execute once their flashes go over. You can even see the 2 first guys who push up short there onto the B side, they run through a flash, like their own flash. They're allowing themselves to be team flash because they know that the way they've set up their execute, there's no way that the CTs are not going to be flashed as well. So you do get some sort of map control towards the bomb side, so that's really good. Now,
oh my god, you're joking. That sucks.
That's adding insult to injury right there.
Yeah.
So only one guy surviving, and that's the guy with the FAMAS as well, so not fun times going around for PITER, and I don't really see them, you know, clawing their way back from this.
Okay, so
aggressive setup this time though, but I guess they kind of have to try to catch E-Frag off guard at this point.
There we go, we've got Bubble catching Spiker off guard, and close position there. Oh, there's the peek. Perfect timing, and that's the frag from jmqa as well. He'll have to back away now that he's spotted the other players, and no AK will be recoverable for him in the near future. So we'll see E-Frag now just playing it cautiously, just systematically taking positions, and Viktor is going to actually catch jmqa on the retreat on A long, and now we get Dreamer clearing out connector. This really looks like it's about to be over here. 5 versus 2 in favor of E-Frag with 4 rifles to work with. And they're still playing it cautiously. The bomb is just by party at the moment.
Yeah, Viktor's kind of the only guy who's trying to figure out what's going on. And I think they're just going to use him as a decoy. So if he dies, it's perfectly fine. He's going to get some information as to how many people are playing on what side. But he's just going to continue his good form and take out facecrack. And that leaves spaze all alone with the FAMAS. He does have a couple of nades, but the aggressive positioning from E-Frag is going to make this impossible.
16-6, it was a pretty easy go of things for E-Frag, and their CT side, it was just so clean, and it didn't seem like they could mess anything up. They were just crushing those retakes. They did so many insane retakes. We saw NKL and Dreamer just doing amazing, remarkable things on the CT side.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's largely because, you know, oftentimes they had one guy rotating quicker. They know that Dreamer was normally the guy being the latest to rotate over, but NKL and a lot of these situations was so good at just creating space and creating time for Dreamer to get into a solid position, especially the one, I think it was 2v4 situation where NKL plays by the restrooms. You know, doesn't go for the first peaks when he hears 2 people stepping outside of restrooms, just takes his time, walks around, and allows Dreamer to rotate through restrooms and up towards long where he's kind of just trapped space already. So now, E-Frag just played a really solid CT side, and that's something that we haven't seen too much of from them, so that's a really good sign.
And we will be moving into Mirage. But first, we'll take a quick break, guys. We'll be back here in just a moment to, well, could even finish off the series very quickly if the form continues here for E-Frag, but we will find out after the break.